Welcome to The Explainer. Today we aren't just looking at data or dissecting some simple trend. We're actually looking at a profound timeline of our own future. We're going to explore a mystery that touches literally every single one of us. So settle in, because we're about to step right into the uncharted territory of human existence and uncover the truth behind the last human job.
Just imagine this scene for a second. The year is 2045. Sunlight spills into your apartment. Outside, the city is humming with perfectly normal life. Cars are moving seamlessly through the streets, people are walking on the sidewalks, the cafes are totally full, alive with quiet conversation. Honestly, everything appears exactly as it did 20 years earlier. Except for one massive detail. Nobody is going to work. And not because it's a holiday, not because of some disaster, but because most jobs simply no longer require humans.
The sheer, uncompromising scale of this shift is just staggering. Think about it. The accountant, replaced. The programmer, replaced. The driver, the data analyst, replaced. Even the artist is now facing competition. The roles that literally defined our identities, the very titles we spend decades of our lives earning, gone.
For centuries, humanity asked a simple, comforting question, right? What do I want to be when I grow up? But today, that question is completely being dismantled. A much heavier question is emerging. What jobs will actually still exist when I grow up? And among all of those, which one is going to be the last? What survives when the entire traditional concept of human labor is just erased?
Well, to understand where we're going, we first have to understand where we came from. For almost all of human history, survival was work. 10,000 years ago, finding food, building a shelter, it all required immense physical effort. Human labor was the actual engine of civilization. The pyramids, the Great Wall, ships crossing oceans, you get the idea. Fast forward to the late 1700s, the first industrial revolution. Steam engines in factories exploded across Europe, and people panicked. They literally smashed machines, absolutely terrified that technology was going to take everything. But history had a surprise. Humanity adapted. We became factory workers, engineers, mechanics. Even when electricity, computers, and the internet arrived, sure, we feared the change, but we always adapted.
Every generation believed they were witnessing the end of work. And, well, every generation was wrong. We always found new ways to apply our labor. Until now. Because this time really may be different. We are shifting from this historical comfort zone into a state of unprecedented vulnerability.
The reason why is fundamental. You see, every single machine before AI had one ultimate limitation. It could not think. A tractor can plow a field, sure, but it can't plan the farm. A calculator can solve equations all day long, but it doesn't actually understand them. Artificial intelligence changed all of that. Suddenly, machines can write, draw, speak, reason, and adapt. For the very first time in human history, we've created a tool that's capable of performing cognitive work. And unlike us, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't need a vacation, it learns from millions of examples in a matter of hours, and it improves at an absolutely extraordinary speed.
We're essentially witnessing the sheer momentum of the Great Replacement. Just imagine entering a hospital in 2040. An AI reviews your entire medical history instantly, comparing your symptoms against literally billions of records, detecting diseases years earlier than any human doctor ever could. Meanwhile, in another city, an AI lawyer is reviewing thousands of legal documents in seconds. Across the ocean, an AI architect is designing an entire city, perfectly optimized for millions of residents. Transportation, education, finance, media, the whole shebang changes. Intelligence is becoming overwhelmingly abundant.
But here's the catch. When intelligence becomes abundant, its value completely changes. Which leads us to a really profound, almost haunting mystery. If machines can outthink us, outplan us, and outwork us, what makes humans different? If we are no longer the most intelligent workers in the room, what exactly is left for us?
Well, the answer lies in something AI still absolutely cannot replicate: human experience. Think about it this way. A machine can describe fear, but it has never actually been afraid. A machine can explain heartbreak in perfect detail, but it has never loved. It can generate a perfectly structured, tragic story about loss, but it has never stood beside a hospital bed and had to say goodbye to someone forever. We are so much more than just information processors. We're emotional creatures. Our decisions are shaped by our memories, our dreams, our failures, and our relationships. Our experiences are what create actual meaning.
So what actually survives this massive transition?
Well, we're still going to need caregivers, people who comfort children, care for the elderly, and support those who are suffering. Why? Because we inherently crave authentic human connection. We're going to need leaders, individuals responsible for making those impossible moral decisions when no perfect mathematical answer actually exists. We'll need creators, not because AI can't create, but because people genuinely desire authentic human stories. And finally, there's the undiscovered. I mean, 100 years ago, nobody could even imagine what a software engineer was, right? The future always creates opportunities we just can't predict. The final profession may very well still be waiting to be discovered.
But perhaps we're looking at this all wrong. Actually, scratch that. Maybe we're asking the wrong question entirely. Because maybe, just maybe, the last human job isn't a job at all. The final role humans play in this universe is something far, far deeper than an occupation, or just some set of tasks.
Our ultimate purpose shifts. To imagine, to inspire, to care, to guide, to define meaning. This is what we're left with when the busy work of survival is completely stripped away by intelligent systems. We shift from just executing tasks to actually choosing the moral and creative direction of the world.
Because look, machines can optimize the world. They can generate answers and calculate value mechanically faster than we ever could. But humans? Humans decide what the world should actually become. Humans choose the questions. Humans decide what is valuable. The mechanical optimization of AI is immense, no doubt about it. But that distinctly human power of choosing value, that is what's going to define the future of our civilization.
One day, AI may perform almost every single task humanity once considered uniquely its own. It might build our cities, drive our vehicles, and maybe even help govern our societies. But as powerful as machines become, one absolute mystery remains. What does it mean to be human? Because when every task can be automated, that may very well become the single most important question our species has ever faced. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking the big questions, because perhaps the last human job is simply being human.